Starfire just had a Sailor Moon transformation, you guys. I didn't even know how much I needed that in my life. Like, so as you may have guessed, today we are talking about the Justice League vs. Teen Titans animated movie. Came out digitally last week. It's going to be out on DVD, I believe, next month. And I watched it last night, and I mean, Starfire had a Sailor Moon transformation, you guys. Okay, so I can't just say Starfire had a Sailor Moon transformation for 5 minutes, which is what I really want to do. So let's talk about the film as a whole. The title of this film is a little bit deceptive. The Titans do battle members of the Justice League, but it's not like Technis Imperative style, where they are all fighting at once and for like a specific reason. Basically, it was kind of a modernization of the very first Trigon arc from Wolfman and Perez's New Teen Titans. Which was cool. I really enjoyed that first Trigon arc. So the story goeth thusly. Our main character is Damian Wayne. He is helping out his dad as Robin, and he's not doing so hot at the whole teamwork thing. He is not really following orders. He's only focusing on the objective in a way that isn't jibing with getting things done necessarily. Bats is like, okay, you are going away. You're going to basically, the Teen Titans is kind of treated like boarding school for him a little bit, which was kind of interesting. He gets sent off to join the Teen Titans. So the Teen Titans in this consist of Damian now, Raven, Blue Beetle, and Beast Boy, and of course Starfire. So Damian doesn't really have interpersonal skills, so it's kind of him trying to learn how to get along with other people and for the rest of the Titans to kind of deal with him, because he can be kind of a little pain in the butt. While that is going on, we also have basically Raven's backstory coming home to roost. Very, very close to her backstory in the original Wolfman Perez run, where her mother was part of a satanic cult, did a Bride of Satan ritual, had Raven, and then was taken in on Azarath. So there is Justice League fighting Teen Titans in this. So you will, like, it's technically what it says on the tin, but it's not the Justice League fighting the Teen Titans in the way that I think you would kind of think it would be. The Titans do fight members of the Justice League briefly. They're fighting the Justice League because Trigon, through his demonic influence, has basically possessed several members of the Justice League. But Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Cyborg all get possessed. Batman gets possessed for like half a second, and then he injects himself with Bane toxin because Batman is too cool for that. So they fight briefly, but then it does end up being them having to take a stand against Trigon. So it wasn't exactly what it says on the tin, but it was a pretty good movie. It was a pretty good origin story for a version of the Titans. I thought that it had some really nice action, and it did have a couple of moments of humor that I thought were pretty funny. So Damian Wayne is very similar to the way that he is in most other versions. He's very much kind of the little like, I don't want to say sociopath, but he's very like on battle, on task, very much not a little kid. Jaime, Blue Beetle, he was fine. He didn't really have a lot of presence in this. Now, Blue Beetle isn't a character that I am as familiar with or as fond of, so my opinion on this you might have to take with a grain of salt, but he didn't register for me that much. Now, again, he's not my favorite. He's not a character that I'm super not a character I dislike, but just not a character that I've ever connected with that much. So if you do like Blue Beetle, I would love to hear your opinion on whether or not you feel like it was a fair representation of him, because I'm still kind of on the fence. Beast Boy was pretty much in his normal kind of goofy, fun-loving self. He's definitely got some of the most jokey moments in the piece. which is fine because that's kind of the character he is, so that does work. I actually thought that the way that they handled Cyborg in this was kind of interesting. In this continuity, Cyborg was not ever a member of the Teen Titans. That wasn't a part of his backstory like it is in the comics. And I wasn't sure if they were going to acknowledge that. Like, does he know Dick? Does he know Corey? Because Dick does show up in this briefly. So he's on the Justice League. He's not affiliated with the Titans, but he does end up kind of falling in with them, kind of. He takes them to the Hell dimension because he can manifest boom tubes. He gets along with Beast Boy and Blue Beetle really well, and they're kind of like, you should come and you should join the Titans instead. And he has this moment where he's like, he really seems to gel with them really well, and he's like, it would be nice to not be like the youngest guy on the team and where they don't necessarily respect me as much as I like, but when you've been in the majors, you know. But then at the end of the film, he is hanging out with the Titans, bringing pizza over. So it was kind of nice to see that even though that's not the team that he's on, he still does kind of have an affiliation with this group, and he kind of gets along with them because they're closer in age to him. And Taissa Farmiga as Raven. I'm not sure if I liked her performance or not. It was kind of odd. So she's very much standard Raven. She's an empath. She's kind of a loner. She kind of stays off by herself because she's keeping this secret about her parentage and all of that. Like, story-wise, she was fine, and she had some scenes with Damian that were kind of nice. So that's definitely something that I thought worked. What I wasn't sure worked is Taissa Farmiga's performance. She was very flat and kind of emotionless, which is a part of Raven as a character. There was very little variation in it, so it was hard to tell if it was a stylistic choice or if she's just a flat voice actress. If you compare her performance to Tara Strong's performance as Raven, there is definitely a very flat affect with Tara Strong's Raven, but there is emotion there, there is nuance there are peaks and valleys there that make the character more dynamic and more interesting. Even though she is holding so much in, you do still kind of get a sense of who she is and what she's going through. I do not get that as much from Taissa Farmiga. To be fair to her, Tara Strong is a very experienced veteran voice actress. Taissa Farmiga is a film actress. So they're very different disciplines. This is why it can be kind of a crapshoot casting film actors for voice work. This is exactly the reason. They're different disciplines. It feels like she was probably directed to be very emotionless and very flat, because that is a part of her character, but it did make her a little hard to connect with. I felt like I could hear her reading the lines as opposed to the character. I felt like I could see Taissa Farmiga behind the microphone as opposed to getting immersed in Raven. It wasn't enough to break the movie because it was something that kind of works for the character, but it was... But now we have to talk about who I'm really here for and who you all are here to hear me talk about, most likely, is Starfire. So what did I think of Starfire? First, yes, I don't know how this works, but I don't care. That was amazing. But it was really nice to see that with Starfire, because Sailor Moon is one of my favorite anime of all time, and Starfire is my favorite character in almost anything. So to see those things kind of meshed was like my brain exploded. But beyond that, my main feelings about Starfire in this were that there wasn't enough of her for me, but the reason why kind of made it okay. So Starfire is the leader of the Titans in this. Starfire is the oldest because she and Dix do still have history. So she's an adult, and Starfire is basically the mom of the group. Like, literally, Starfire is mom fire. Like, she's driving everybody around in a station wagon, and she's telling everybody to get along and play nice, and it's so cute. It's not necessarily the way that she's been presented in the comics, because she's she's never been the leader of the Titans to my memory. She's never been mom fire like this. Now, it didn't bother me because it's definitely a thing that I could see Corey evolving into. She was also very clearly very powerful in a fight, which was nice. I was glad that they did not kind of water down that aspect of her character. And considering that Damien is going to be on the Titans in the new Rebirth title that's coming out, and Starfire is going to be in that, I'm very curious if her characterization in that book is going to be similar to this. So that's going to be something I'm going to be really interested to see. But I did really enjoy her in this. I thought that she was really fun. I may have already bought fabric to make her costume from this film because she had a Sailor Moon transformation, guys. Like, I have to, right? Overall, I did really like it. I thought it was really fun. I'll probably buy it on DVD when it comes out because, you know, the Titans are my jam. I would be excited to see more of the Titans in the animated film universe. You know, I would love to see a film where Corey gets a little bit more of a spotlight, either in relation to or maybe possibly she's mentioned. I thought that would be kind of fun.